Welcome along to the Army Analysis series, and today we are looking at another Carthaginian list, the Hannibal in Africa 202 BC list. We had a look previously at the Carthaginian Hannibal in Italy list. There are a good few actually Carthaginian armies, and this is one of the popular ones actually, the African list. It offers a few things that the other lists just don't offer. So let's start with the infantry. We've got a real mix. We've got a couple of the really nice veteran African spear. They are excellent troops. They're superior quality and armored. Even against legionnaires, if they can survive impact, then they have an advantage. They go actually 50 up against even legionnaires in melee. So they're at about 100 disadvantage on impact, but you know, most of the time, often they will survive impact, and then they've got the advantage against even the legionnaires. So they are really, really good troops. We've got some veteran Italian foot. I guess they're it's a pity they're not impact like the Samnite foot, which I think costs the same, so that is a little bit of a disadvantage, but it's still, you know, they're superior quality, so they'll get a plus 50 for their quality. So in terms of bulking out your infantry, having another superior quality infantry unit, they are pretty good. It's just a pity that they're not impact. So probably a little bit overpriced, if I'm honest. Maybe they should be about 62 or something. The warband, we've got 2 warband units. Decent price, large unit. If you've been following me in my videos, in the last few videos, we've been looking at some armies with the loose order warband, which are essentially like medium foot warband, but these are the better ones. These are the heavy foot warband, so you get your impact advantage. We've also got some Spanish medium foot, the impact foot. They're quite nice units because they're all impact. For 42, it's a pretty good price. So especially on rough ground or kind of the mid-tier weaker infantry, they can do well against, you know, like Italian foot, Phoenician style foot, even hoplites. On impact, they can do quite well. African spear, they're just like hoplites really. They're offensive spear, average protected, kind of run-of-the-mill standard units. So we've got a nice mix of infantry. The Phoenician foot are not great, but actually when you look at it, you probably save some points, because it seems that they're almost the same, if not the same as Italian foot. Average protected, light spear, swordsman, and yet they cost a little bit less. Same number as well of men. So actually they're quite cost effective. But what is really going to change things around for you are these Javelin horse. I don't think I've ever seen so many in a list. We've got 15 here. Now this is with the Numidian allies. I had a look, and I have played against this army before, and I've played with it once or twice, and really what does the damage is this light Javelin horse. I did a top 10, my first top 10 I did, top 10 units in the game. The Javelin horse came in at my top 10 because they're fantastic value for money at 24. You know, they can disrupt enemy cav. Later on in the game, They can frequently rout units, because you can get around the back of the enemy, charge into disrupted units, fragmented units, and they're often rout. So they're excellent at that. Scouting, chasing away skirmishers, really multi-dimensional unit, fantastic value for money. They tend to work better when you've got a few of them, and we have got a few of them here, because if you've got 1 or 2 enemy cav units, doesn't matter how much they cost, and you surround them with these guys, pretty quickly they're going to disrupt. And there's not much the enemy can do, because they can chase after the light javelin horse, but then they'll just evade. So they are a real nightmare to play against, and most armies only have 3 or 4 of them. But then when you've got 15, it's really tough. It's really tough. So this is the strength of this army, and when you take the Numidians out, you get, I think it's about an extra 5 of them. With the base list, you get 10, but I would just take the Numidians and go out, because we've still got 18. It's amazing, really, how many infantry units we've got, and they're not all rubbish, I mean, got 4 superior quality infantry units. We've got some African spear, we've got impact foot, we've got impact foot, heavy foot. So really, it's just this irregular foot and the Phoenician foot that are a little bit dodgy. But this is quite a well-rounded army. It really is. We've even got some noble cav. We've got 4. As I've said in other videos, great value for money, because it only costs 4 more than the armoured cav, and yet they're so much better because they're superior quality. So you get that plus 50 again, quality. And we can even take an elephant to help the infantry out. So this is a really interesting, dynamic, different kind of list. I would kind of recommend this, if not in the league, just in in multiplayer in general, and friendlies and stuff. It's quite good to take this army out, because it kind of teaches you some of the mechanics of the game, how to use this javelin horse. What does it take to disrupt enemy cavalry? How can you use your infantry in support of your light horse and cav and elephant? Most of the Carthaginian armies are really well balanced. With the Roman lists, you often only get 2 or 3 cav, but with the Carthaginians, I've maxed out on my noble cav, but I've still got, I could take out 2 more cav units here. So most of the time you've got a decent amount of cavalry with the Carthaginians. You've got elephants, you've got light horse, and a mix of infantry. It's not just all heavy foot or all impact foot or all medium foot. It's a real mix here. So I really do recommend Carthaginian lists to new players and players that want to learn how to use all different parts of an army, because this is the kind of army that you can learn how to do that. Romans, it's just all infantry. Warband armies, again, all impact foot infantry mainly. Pikes, you're really looking to use the pikes to win with those pike armies. But this is all about balance. And we've even got 5 skirmishers. So we've got a lot. I mean, if you wanted, you can use these as kind of mobile skirmishers in conjunction with your foot skirmishers. I mean, there's just different ways to play. If we wanted to swap out our elephant, we can take, if you wanted to take veteran armored cav, you can do that. As I always say, these are the same units: armored noble cav, veteran armored cav, superior armored light spear. They're just different names. When I was looking at switching things around, maybe if you wanted yet more skirmishers, perhaps you could take out some Phoenician foot, and we could add, I think it's about 4. 4 more skirmisher units. So that takes us to 9. We've got 9 skirmisher units now, and we've still got 15 infantry. We've still got 4 cav. We've got an elephant, and 15 of this javelin horse. It's just a fantastic balance here. Really interesting army. So you can annoy the enemy with all of these skirmishers and light horse, and then go in with your heavy foot and your elephant. Use your cav. I would probably make sure I've got some javelin horse with my cav, because they can still get flank attacks. I mean, they're not flank attacks that will disrupt the enemy or cause any drops. But as I've said, later on in the game, when units are low on numbers, they can be really effective, and they can, if not for an automatic drop, they can cause drops just from their impact. So they're kind of good as kind of extra cav, really, supplementary cav. And you've still got a nice swarm over there as well. So really nice army. The win rate, when I checked, is 53%. You might not think that's a lot, but actually most armies are around 45 to 50% in the league when you check out the stats. Thanks a lot to Pete, the organizer of the Digital League. If you haven't played yet in the league, have a look on the Slytherin forum and go to the Digital League section, and you can find all the information there. Fantastic organizer, fantastic league. Really, everyone has a lot of fun playing in the league, and you've got a lot of sections. You can play in classical, late antiquity, biblical, early Middle Ages, high Middle Ages. They're the main sections. So well done to him for organizing it, and now we're in season 12. So he's done a great job. So yes, 53%. And when I looked at my records, that I've covered roughly about 22 armies, because some of the videos I've actually done 2 lists in one. So it's around about 22 armies, and 53% is 5th on the list currently. They make the top 5. They're at number 5. So it's a really good win rate, actually, even though it might not sound so good, because that's literally everybody and anybody taking this army out over 11 seasons. Good players, bad players, average players, anybody, new players, anybody. So it's a good stat. What am I going to give this army for rating? I think I'll go A-. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you learn how to use the Javelin horse, which is key, how to surround the cav, how to move around the map, when to go in, when to hold back, it can be a really hard army to play against. But it is actually also quite difficult to use. Maybe if you leave your infantry exposed, you've only got a couple of heavy foot superior quality units, and this is medium foot. These are the 2 superior quality. So your infantry isn't the best of the best. If your elephant got stuck, and you just maybe couldn't deal with, I don't know, maybe the enemy had a lot of either a lot of really good infantry or a lot of cavalry that just drove your javelin horse away and your noble horse away, you know, maybe that would leave you exposed, because you don't have so many. You've got a lot of swordsmen and impact foot in this army, so actually it might, you know, you've got African spear, the veteran spear, that's 4, and a light spear, but then you've just got a lot, and some light spear, but then the others are all swordsmen. So it is a little bit finicky, a little bit difficult to use at first. So that's why it gets the minus. I think some armies, like the Romans I covered the other day, a Roman 105 list, it's just easier for most players to use, more straightforward. You just got to get your legionnaires going. Whereas this one, it's with the Carthaginians in general, it's all about all the different parts of the army supporting each other, timing, coordination. It really is important to get the most out of this army, and that's where it could be sometimes a little bit difficult to use. But anyway, A minus, really nice army. If you're playing with this army in the league, there's a couple of players that are using this army. I think maybe in division, is it maybe B and maybe D. So if you're using this army, let us know how you're doing, any tips. If you're playing against this army also, let us know what's going on. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again soon.